Americans are set to get an amazing $2,000 tax rebate by the United States Treasury and the IRS. Man, this is great news, guys. I don't know if you guys have been aware, but right now Donald Trump has been charging a lot of countries a lot of tariffs, to China, Canada, all other countries, India, Saudi Arabia, all types of countries are being charged tariffs. And according to Donald Trump, he is set to send some $2,000 tariffs to a bunch of Americans. Now, this is great news, guys, because, man, a lot of people right now are in hardships and they deserve right now to get some type of tax rebate, because things have been so hard for people, guys. A lot of people need a lot of help out here in America. Now, I'm sure you guys have been aware that America, there is so much hardships right now. People are struggling for health insurance right now. The Republicans, the Democrats, they seem to not know what's best for the American people. So according to a lot of financial advisors and different people talking about this $2,000 tax rebate, guys, they're saying that supposedly Donald Trump is probably gonna send the $2,000 in a tax rebate for the 2025 tax year, so when people go do their taxes in 2026, they're probably going to get some type of bonus or some type of help, from the IRS, guys. Me personally, I can't wait to receive that $2,000, hopefully this is really true and correct, but a lot of people have been wanting right now to get assistance by the government and help, A lot of people are just stressed out. A lot of people are just mad about the way things have been. So I'm here just vlogging in a beautiful sunny day somewhere out here in a national park. All in all, guys, it's really nice to hear that there's gonna be a $2,000 tax rebate, and I don't know if this is gonna be based on people's financial or depending how much they've made, things like that. They're pretty much saying that it's gonna be based, I don't know if it's gonna be based on people's income, how much people made for 2025, guys. And I don't know if that's what they're gonna use to determine what people qualify for that $2,000 tax rebate, or it's just gonna be a bonus for all Americans, because technically right now, a lot of people are just upset the fact that there's so much hardship, people's premiums, insurance premiums have been going up, and it's pretty insane. You get me, guys? People have been wanting help since the longest. Why is it that America, the government, is getting so much money from these countries? They're saying that there's money sitting in the treasury out there, and pretty much that money is just sitting there when it could be going to hardworking Americans who are struggling to survive and make ends meet. You get me, guys? As you can see, guys, I'm here in a little area where there's some beautiful little turtles. They're coming up to me looking for some food. Man, there's a giant big turtle. I don't know if you can see it there, guys, but he is asking for food. So yeah, guys, I feel that 2026 is gonna be a big surprise and tax season for a lot of people, guys. I feel that people are gonna wake up one day and just look at their bank accounts and they're gonna be like, whoa, $2,000 in there from the IRS Treasury. And I honestly feel that people need this help. It's been so rough. And insurance premiums, car insurance, mortgages, the rents, everything is just so bad out here that people are dying. People are dying to receive these $2,000 tax rebates in their accounts. You get me, guys? And I honestly feel that Americans do deserve it. Americans need the help. They deserve to receive some type of resource and financial assistance after all the hard work they do. And there is a lot of Americans who pay a lot of taxes and things. You get me, guys? I think this would be very helpful for the American people, in my opinion, Donald Trump in the past, I'm sure you guys remember, but during the time of, what is this called? During the time of the pandemic, during the time of the pandemic, the coronavirus, you know, a lot of people received like $1,200, you know, over and over. And that was a big help at that time because people couldn't work and they had not enough resources to survive and live, you get me, guys? And pretty much, I even myself received that $1,200 rebate by Donald Trump at that time. And I personally feel that that was a pretty good thing, you know, because there was so much hardships and people needed that type of help during that time. You get me, guys? When you guys look at the national average in the United States, the cost of living, you know, in different states, different counties, you know, is very different and all over in different states, you know. And some states, the economy, things are just more expensive, you get me, guys? And in other states, it's cheaper. But man, like the premium Bs, the health insurance, this is a crisis that has been going on in America since the longest. And America can't seem to understand how to solve this issue. You get me, guys? Like, people are just all the time stressed out, you know? Like, some people don't have no coverage, you know? They don't have a job. People depend on Medicare, and the premium Bs are going up for Medicare. You get me, guys? And this is what makes people very frustrated because they have to pay all these premium Bs, you know? And sometimes the cost of living adjustment, the COLAs, you know, are not being raised enough by the government. You get me, guys? And I just find that pretty like unfair. You know, people work so hard in America. You know, people are all the time working hard to pay their bills and everything. And like, why is it that the government decides to give this COLA only a 2.8 increase for 2026? You know, that's the cost of living adjustment for people that get a lot of government benefits and stuff, you know? And this is what the government gives to try to keep up with inflation and all that, you know, guys? So as you can see, guys, I'm here really just right now just walking in a nice, beautiful area around here. You know, that's one thing I love about, you know, Florida. They have really nice scenery and greenery, you know. And like, as you can see here, it is very nice. You get me, guys? Like, they have beautiful state parks all around here, you know, guys. And I have a big connection with wildlife and animals, you get me, guys? And I feel that my spirit, my soul is very connected to that. Check out this beautiful little swamp here. You know, I still haven't seen any alligators here, but, you know, sometimes I explore all around different towns in Florida, or like, you know, all over. I go to different areas, you know, and try to see what I find sometimes, you know, guys. But I've mostly been seeing a lot of turtles around here. So yeah, one thing I want to say, guys, about this $2,000 tax rebate is that if we all do receive this $2,000 tax rebate by the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and all these people in the Treasury, keep that money, save it. Don't spend it on dumb things. You get me, guys? Like, it's hard times right now, you know. Even though I do have to say that I do see that the gas prices have gone down a lot, you know, in America. You know, at least about where I'm at, I see that the gas is like $2.80 something, $2.70 something, you know. And so it's not pretty expensive, in my opinion, compared to when Biden was president. And things were like almost $4 a gallon, 3 something, you know. So it's pretty good, you know. I have to say, Donald Trump is really doing something good here by keeping the gas, you know, by keeping the gas pretty low, you know, guys. So there is pretty much a lot of lakes around here. You know, as you guys can see here, there is a lot of little, there's no alligators. I do see a lot of turtles, you know, but, you know, these waters look pretty dirty in the swamp. You know, that's one thing that you do get in Florida, like the swamps here. This is not some nice water to shower in, that's for sure. There's another little swamp here, as you guys can see, you know, guys, and Imagine right here, this little angle, you see a little freaking dinosaur, like a freaking alligator that just pops out of nowhere. One of these days is coming. I'm gonna be heading to the Everglades and trying to see if I find some little alligators, man. So yeah, guys, you know, this $2,000 tax rebate, you know, this is something that the Americans need, and like, it's actually good, you know. There's a lot of controversy with this right now because people are saying that, is it a good thing that America has so much money? You know, the money is literally just sitting in the treasury. That's what they're saying. It's sitting in there. No one's touching it. They're not doing anything. And as we all know, there was a government shutdown not long ago, and a lot of people got affected. Their SNAP benefits were cut off, and, you know, people were not getting paid. The workers, you know, like federal workers, people that work in the aviation, they weren't getting paid, you know, but they at least gave them a bonus, as you guys may have heard. But I'm actually glad that the government finally reopened, you know, but this $2,000 tax rebate is something that Americans really need, so they can pay their car insurance, their mortgage, put food on the table. You know, sometimes the SNAP benefits, it helps, you know, you get, depending what type of household family you are, you know, guys, like you might be a single family, you know, like just yourself, a single person, the most they give is like 300. But, you know, guys, check out these little swamps here. These swamps look pretty cool, man, as you guys can see. We have to be careful because I actually hear that there could be snakes in here. There's signs that say snakes, alligators, you know, so I might get eaten by an alligator, guys. You guys gonna see it live on YouTube. So yeah, guys, I honestly do feel like we're come to a time that we shouldn't be having to suffer so much. We shouldn't have to be, you know, guys, struggling so much. You know what I'm saying, guys? We should all have everything good. We work so hard, Americans pay so much taxes, and yet why is it that you don't have enough to put food on the table sometimes, you know, and you're working so hard, you know, paying things, you get me, guys? And why is that? It shouldn't be like that, you know, guys? But seriously, guys, like, I honestly feel like we shouldn't be having to struggle so much, you know, in America. You know, we all live, they say we all live one life. We should all enjoy our lives, you know. And people are just all the time caught up with the 9-to-5 work, you know, and that's all they know. And that's all the life we see, you get me, guys? And I feel personally that we need to enjoy life more, you get me? It's not all about the hard work all the time. A $2,000 tax rebate would be very beneficial. You know, people can take a trip. Hell, you can even buy yourself a nice little used car. So seriously, guys, I honestly think that we've come to a time that we all should be enjoying lives to the fullest. You know, guys, life is too short. We were blessed to be born into this planet that has a lot of nice things and nice scenery, and, you know, we're living in a nice galaxy right now, the Milky Way galaxy, you know, and Earth is part of a solar system right now, just hanging out. We're floating in space, spinning in an axis. $2,000, guys, I think people need that, you know. That's something that Americans really would need after so much hardships. You know, I feel that 2025 was such a rough year, you know, in my opinion, you know, guys. So don't be surprised, guys, if out of nowhere, next year, 2026, is pretty much coming right around the corner. Right now, we're in December, and next thing you know, you wake up and you look in your bank and you see these $2,000 just sitting in there, you know. And just be thankful, be grateful the fact that, you know, if this is true, and if Donald Trump really does this to help out the Americans, which I think he will, you know, we actually saw him give out a tax rebate for COVID-19 to people during the coronavirus, and Joe Biden, out of so much hardship, he never, not one time, sent some money to the Americans. And I find that pretty discouraging, you get me, guys? I look forward myself to receiving that, because I have myself been in personal hardships in my life, and I definitely will benefit from a $2,000 tax rebate, you know, guys. But based on Donald Trump, you know, based on what he's been saying that pretty much he decided to do these tax rebate, you know, charging all these other countries things, because he's pretty much saying that countries were charging America so much and America was just losing so much money. So now he's doing it right back to these countries, taxing them more, you know. But the bad part is that they're saying that if you order things from China or from another country, then you're pretty much gonna have to pay a little bit more for your electronics because you know, it's coming from these other countries. The tax rebate, for it to be $2,000, you know, so like if they're saying if you order some equipment from China, it's gonna be more because it's coming from China. So China's gonna tax because of this tax rebate stuff, you know, and supposedly it's affecting some business owners that have electronics and things like that, because they're getting taxed more to get their things from other countries and due to these tariffs, you know. But all in all, for Donald Trump doing this is really just profiting America and making America more wealthy, you know. But they have the money to fix the infrastructure, help out all types of people, the middle class, not only the wealthy, open up, you know, shelters for the homeless people, you know. There's a lot of homeless people in America, you know, people that struggle with addictions and a lot of chronic conditions, and there's a lot of no cures for things. We should be investing in all that. But the money, a lot of it is going towards, you know, NASA. NASA is investing a lot of money. They're trying to find out life on Mars. You get me, guys? I look forward to seeing this $2,000 tax rebate, you know, guys. So yeah, guys, this is pretty much what the news is saying about these $2,000 tax rebates. And what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts, and feel free to comment down below in this video if you ran into it on YouTube. And do you need this $2,000 tax rebate? Will you benefit from it or not? Or are you doing really good in life? You're making six figures and you're making so much money that you technically don't even care about this $2,000, you know. But feel free to let me know your thoughts and comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this $2,000 tax rebate that supposedly is coming probably in 2026, because Donald Trump confirmed it, you know. And feel free to let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think? You know, are you happy to hear that Americans are probably going to receive that? This is one thing that I love about America. When you see the nice, beautiful sunsets, you know, right now from where I'm at, it's about to get dark pretty soon, and the sun is getting ready to go down. And we're here in these beautiful lakes around here, as you guys can see, the nice little water stream. You know, the sun is about to leave and go down. So yeah, guys, as you guys can see here, we got some little turtles just chilling here. They looking for food. They're looking up here. If you can see their little head, they just hanging out looking for food. So people are really right now around here. I've been running into a lot of people who are just having a nice little walk around here, you know, because where I'm at, I'm somewhere in a nice little state park, you know, where they have people just exercising. They walk around, you know, guys, and it's really nice out here, man. That's one thing I love about Florida, and the things, the scenery, everything, you know. I don't know if you guys can see here, but check out this little squirrel. He's just digging in that ground, looking for some food. Hi, little squirrel. What you looking for? Some food? Some little nuts? Look, he's not actually running away from me, guys. The little squirrel, he's just looking at me here. Man, this is a nice little close-up view. Oh. You guys see this? Look at this little squirrel. He looks so cute. He's about to leave, I think. I'm surprised he hasn't ran away from me. Look, he's sticking his head in the ground. He's looking for some little worms or something. You guys see this? Oh man, this is a nice little shot I ran into. He literally look. You guys see this little squirrel? So yeah, guys, I really hope that Donald Trump looks out for all the American people and give them these $2,000 tax rebates. You know, guys, a lot of people really need it. You know, and I think that people need help. You know, people need a lot of money right now. People are running out of all the money in their bank accounts and stuff, you know. And people really need these extra income resources, you know, guys. But yeah, guys, what do you guys think about these $2,000 tax rebates? Feel free to comment down below. So yeah, guys, hopefully we all receive these $2,000 tax rebates in our accounts next week by the IRS. I mean, next year, 2026, you know, come tax season. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're new here or you don't know me. My name is Jesus. I do a lot of videos and content and all types of videos. Feel free to subscribe so you stay informed with new videos and content. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys soon in another little video somewhere else. Take care.